It's working now, isn't it? Goodness. Right, there's a 10-second delay, so let me know if you get sound now. Awesome, thanks Henry. Okay, so just in case you're new to OBS, I had to click on my mic settings in the middle of the audio mixer, go down to properties, and then device, and then select my mic, even though that's the one I always use. Anyway, it's working now. Lovely. Right, welcome, welcome, welcome. I was bored, it's Friday night, and I thought I'm going to just go online, have a wee chat. We've got a train show coming up on Sunday, and I'm trying to be a good little boy and not just get a pile of crap. So, suggestions on what I should be looking for. I've got a few ideas myself, but if you've been watching my videos, you'll probably have a good idea of what I like these days. So, by all means, leave a comment. Also, if you want to see a particular one of my crappy trains running around the track, give me a shout. I'm running DCC at the moment, so I can run a few trains at once and hopefully not have any crashes. Saturday afternoon in New Zealand. Let me think. You are springtime in New Zealand, right? Hello Bruce Fox, welcome along. We're just having a late night, early morning, mid-afternoon live stream just for the hell of it. Why not? Hello the manlet. Hope you're all doing well. It is currently 11:21 in Canada, where I am at least. And we're running a little train round the track. Why not? As you can probably tell, that PA1 does not match the coaches, but it's blue. It's the closest thing I've got. I don't have a Via Rail locomotive, so that should be on the list, right? Let's put that on the list right now. Train show shopping last. Let's see. Via Rail Loco. And we're off. We've got something on the list. Greetings, Auti Rail Studios. Auti Rail. Don't recognise that. I need to look you up. Auti Rail. Let's have a look for Auti Rail, shall we? The problem with more room for my trains is I don't have any more wall space. I don't want to start getting into my backdrop scene thing. And I quite like having my trains up here. You know, there and oh, hope you don't feel too sick after that. But yeah, I don't have a lot of room, and you know what? I don't like putting trains in boxes and hiding them away in closets and cupboards, because you'll never use them. I do have a few in boxes, like my old British Rail Intercity 125s that are in a box. Once they're in a box, you don't use them. So I'd rather they were on shelves, and then you just look up and go, I think I'm going to run that today. So, yeah, space is a problem. Oh, I do have space underneath the layout. I could maybe build some shelves down there. So, any more suggestions on what I should buy? You know I love the PA1s, and if I see any PA1s, I'll be buying them. So that doesn't even need to go on the list, right? Oh yeah, I was looking up Auti Rail Studios. Right, let's see what he's all about. So Autorail Studios, channel operated by a train enthusiast. Looks like you're into Thomas the Tank Engine and anime stuff. Okay, I'll have a look at that later. I will subscribe right now. There you go. And if anyone else wants a sub or leave a link, whatever, no problem at all. I've got a couple of Steam trains, but they are not very good. I've got a tiny little Rivarossi, but again, it's in a box, like what I was saying earlier. Once it's in a box, I never run it, so I need to dig that out. And I've got that Chesney System one that runs like a bit of a pig, so I don't like running that. And I've got one of those Mantua jobs, which also doesn't run great. I am DC and DCC, although it's just a Bachmann Easy Command DCC, but it does the job for now. As you probably know, I'll be getting into the whole DCC EX++ thing with the Arduino and all sorts of weird electronic stuff I need to learn. But for now, Easy Command, it's fine, does the job. Hello Robert Bellina, hello Transport and Simulation Hub, and Mike Kirkman. E89s, I think I do have. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's an E8, right? Which actually runs really great, but it's really noisy. But I don't mind. It kind of adds to the character. In fact, I'll stick it in the track. Once this train passes, I can't make them go too fast, or they'll crash into each other. So give me a second for this one to get out of the way. Okay. So many wheels. Okay, hopefully that won't catch up to the PA1 too quickly. Oh, wait a minute, that was for the shopping list, wasn't it? Yes, you know what? I will put that in the shopping list. So, let's do E8, E9. Keep an eye on these trains before they have a terrible accident. I might need to slow down the Hudson, Delaware, PA1, that blue thing coming into shot. Right, so I am going to add E8/9. There we go, on the list. No crashes yet, we're all good. I'm going to have to slow that blue train down. Right, that's better. Okay, let's see. Did I miss anyone yet? Oh yeah, Henry. Definitely, I'll just buy what I like. I'm going to get in there at Don's Crack and get right in there and buy whatever I can buy cheap. And you know me, I don't mind buying stuff that I need to fix up, so that's not a problem. Right, so Mike, yeah, I've got E8s and 9s on the list. I think I said hello to Robert in Pennsylvania. You think it's an E7? I don't know the difference. I need to look that up. I think someone told me it was an E9. Sorry, an E8, because it's got like 12 wheels and stuff, you know. But yeah, what do I know? You guys are probably right. Okay, so Transport and Simulation Hub is Peter from Belfast. What about car? Wow, you've got N-Scale 00 and HO. You're a glutton for punishment, you. N-Scale's too small for me. Although I did think about getting one of those Z scales, I think it is. You know, the wee tiny one. You can get the whole layout in like a box that size. Intercity 125. I saw that recently. It's only a couple of $100 for the whole setup. Might be worth it for a laugh. Right, who's this? Debbie does N-Scale. Alright, I see what you did there. Hello there. Okay, E7 it is then. Thank you. Hello, Lord Nikon. Oh yeah, thanks for, yeah, I'll check the trains. Oh yeah, I need to speed up the E7. Okay, E7's going a wee bit quicker now. Let's see him. So I managed to download an app that let me hook up my phone, my iPhone, as a webcam, which is what you're watching right now. It's really clear, although the frames are not great. The frames per second are a wee bit jerky. I'd need to pay extra to get the high quality stream, but it's not bad. If I keep it in small, it doesn't look so jerky. Right, how are we doing with our shopping list? I've got Via Rail, Loco, E8 or E9. And there's definitely something I'm going to add to the list that you have not noticed yet. And that will be NA Rio Grande Loco. No, Grande. Preferably a PA1 or an F7 for passenger cars. Trains are still okay. Okay, right. Hello, Colin. How you doing? Nice of you to drop by. Manitoulin Island. You know what? I've got a package that I need to open, but I might wait till Monday for a Monday mail call. It's quite nerve-wracking having two trains running on the same. Calm yourself, Mike. Yeah, two trains running on the same track's a wee bit nerve-wracking. So I've got this. I think I know what this is, and it's from Mark Thoma in Victoria, BC. I'm pretty sure I know what that is, but I'm going to wait till Monday's mail call for that one. So you just have to tune in on Monday. Alright, who else has dropped in? Oh yeah, I've spoken to Colin before in Manitoulin Island. That's way up north of Tobermory. We were quite close to there in summer. We went a wee holiday up to Tobermory. It's nice, but really expensive. Right, Auti Rail Studios. Yeah, there's tons. I'm like so far behind since I only came to Canada 10 years ago and only started this hobby at the start of the year. There's absolutely tons. What I have found with North American trains, there's a lot more variation than British trains, especially the older stuff, because it was all British Rail was all just the blue locos with the yellow nose. You had the older ones, the steam engines, Great Western Railway and all that kind of stuff, but generally I grew up with blue locos with yellow noses, and that's all I knew. But over here, oh my god, I mean, just looking around, and I've only been doing this for a few months. You've got the whole Chessie system thing, Canadian Pacific, Canadian National, Via Rail, Santa Fe, BC Rail, Norfolk Southern, Burlington, Pennsylvania, Southern Pacific, Baltimore and Ohio. There's tons and tons of stuff, and every single one of them's got different locals that I need to collect. I need to slow down CP Rail again. Hold on. So, wait a minute. Yeah, Robert, I've seen those GP30s, but I really want the passenger things. When I take the CP Rail E7 off, I'll run the Union Pacific, and you'll see why I desperately want a Rio Grande passenger loco. Manlet, yeah, actually, maybe not the rolling stock. I've got plenty of rolling stock for now, but I would like a Proto 1000 loco of any description, because that's what the Union Pacific is, and it's the best running loco I've got. Hold on, we're almost going to have an accident here. I'm just trying to juggle speeds between the DC and the DCC trains. The CP Rail wants to go pretty fast even on its slow setting. You notice what I've not done? I've not added lights to that E7 yet. I need to do that. That would bring it a bit more to life. Right, I want you to take note of this particular scene you're looking at with the diggers and everything. That's because work will be starting very soon on my moving car system in that area. Hence why all the building equipment is setting up. So I'm quite excited about that. Looking forward to getting started. My wife's been bugging me to get that done, so better get a move on, eh? Okay, I'm just getting everything going nice and slow. You know what? I like the E7 a lot. It's got a lot of character. It's really old, but I reckon with some nice new lights and some glass, I think that's all it'll really need. If it really behaves, I might DCC it. I do have two basic DCC chips that I've not installed in anything yet. One of them was going to go into the Union Pacific, which is at the top of the screen there, the yellow thing. I'll run that in a minute. In fact, I'll run it once this E7 gets round here, okay? Oh, I've got no Amtraks. I tell a lie, I've got one Amtrak, but it's tiny. It's even smaller than that little CN switcher I've got. Right, let me go and set off the Union Pacific. So, coming down the hill, we've got my Union Pacific F7 something or other, but that is a lifelike Proto 1000, and it's absolutely fantastic. Best running loco I've got. Absolutely silent, really heavy, but as you can see, it's hauling a bunch of Rio Grande passenger cars. So if I can find a Rio Grande version of that, I would be absolutely delighted. But there's not many of them in Canada land. So we'll see if I can find one at the train show. Other than that, I'll need to spend about probably about $100 by the time it gets to me. It's ridiculously expensive, but I really want one. But if I'm going to spend $100, I think I'd rather have a PA1 version of the Rio Grande. That's just my preference, to be honest. So the Rio F7s that I'm seeing on eBay, most of them are dummies, and they still want $50 plus about $30 shipping plus tax. That's what I'm saying. It's nearly $100 even just for a dummy. Absolute nonsense. So I do have my eye on one PA1 on eBay, which would be about $85 delivered. I think I'd rather spend that money rather than more money on an F7, you know. Everything's behaving itself now. These two locos that are running just now, their crawl speed is really good, so I can have them going nice and slow. What colour is your PA1 Santa Fe? Because I do have this one, which is nice, but I really want the yellow one, because I've got the yellow small one. If I had a yellow version of that, that would be great. I'm kind of obsessed with yellow at the moment, and PA1s. Okay, everything's still behaving. Right, back to the trains. Tell you what though, I absolutely, not even just the PA1s, but the Athearn Blue boxes, I just love them. They're just so well made, easy to work on. Can be a little bit noisy with all those wheels, the bigger ones with the 6 axles, but they're so reliable. When I say they're noisy, it's mostly the axles are noisy because they've got those little brass bearing things, the pickups, and they kind of clatter about a little bit. I can live with the noise for the performance value, to be honest. I'm reading the chat. I'm not ignoring you. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind spending $50 to $60 at the train show for the train I want, because I'm not having to pay $30 shipping. But the likes of that Baltimore and Ohio set, this set that I got at the last train show, that was $20 and that was $10, and oops, and they're both powered units, so $30 for that set in really good condition, as opposed to $50 plus shipping for an unseen item in eBay. Oh, it's a tough call, I tell you. But no, if I can get them at a train show, I don't mind paying a wee bit more. We're not talking about the Chevy tonight, okay? Just not in the mood. Can't believe you're bringing the tone down, you're bringing the show down, and just stop talking about cars. Oh, just realised that the light isn't on. What's going on? Sorry, my headlight wasn't on in the PA1. Should be working now. Right, so we have got Viral Loco, E8 or 9, any Rio Grande Loco. Mike, yeah, an email would be great, and anything you send is obviously very much appreciated. Email address is. This isn't my personal email address, so I'm not giving anything away here, okay? Forgotten how to spell. Let's see, it says Scotland's Garage. Right, let's see if that works. Okay. Yeah, that would be awesome. Something else for Mail Call Monday, and we'll get to run things around the track. Awesome, thank you very much. So, Glenn, are you just starting to collect stuff again? Or have you actually started building a layout again? I really wish I'd started this years ago. It's just so much fun, I love it. So relaxing. And train shows are great. And they don't cost that much. Honestly, $30 and you got some history and... Okay, they're just toys, but hey, whatever. These two Loco sets are so well behaved, have you noticed? They're keeping to their own little zones. Love it. Right, while they are behaving, I'm going to try and dig out that Rivarossi steam switcher I've got hiding somewhere. Found it! Right, I need to bring this Union Pacific into a siding because it is DC and this little switcher is also DC. I'll give you a closer look. So cute. Had a slight mishap there. Okay, let's get this little switcher on the track. Well, that didn't last long. It's not been running a while. Yeah, I need to run them round fairly quickly just now till everything gets loosened up. Oh, I better make sure all my turnout's the right place. Yep, here we go. Everything I've got is Athearn. I don't have any. The only proto thing I've got is that Union Pacific F7. But I'm quite happy with the Athearns. Plus, it's all I can afford. Let's follow this little guy around. So he is going to be coming into webcam 2. He'll be coming down the mountain when he comes. Here he comes. Hey Michael Allen, how you doing? Minneapolis. Hello Photoline. Oh, I've already spoken to you, but hey, hello. Oh no, I haven't. Hello Photoline. Let's see if we can slow him down a bit. It doesn't help that I'm running DCC at the moment, so let me switch over to DC. That's better, but his light won't come on until he's gone a bit faster. I might have to do a bit of an LED conversion on that little local, because it's really nice. The only trouble is he's not very heavy, so he can't haul much. And hello Edmonton. Are you in winter yet? Must be miserable up there by now. Oh, I'm just kidding. But it probably is pretty cold, right? Yeah, he needs a bit of an upgrade with the lights. Because that little CN switcher I did yesterday, today, whatever, that looks great now, just with a bit of TLC. Well, you've got better weather than us. We're down to, it's 15 or 16 today. And we're in like the warmest part of Canada, apparently. Go chase. Go get him. It's the battle of the switchers. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this winter. Canada, it's gonna be rough this year because the last couple of years have been pretty mild where we live. The first 8 years of living here, it was brutal, and I think this year's going to make up for the last 2. But hey, hello Jim E, or Jimmy. Massachusetts. Adding a few signals. Oh yeah, I've got tons to add to the layout, Jim. I just want to get the basics done. I just want the... Oh dear, we seem to have a bit of a... No, a bit of a push pushing situation going on here. One of them's going to have to come off, and I think it's going to be the River Rossi for now. Yeah, I've got absolutely tons to do, but I didn't realise how long it was going to take, because I would say this is a fairly decent sized layout for North America. It's a big layout compared to what I would possibly have in the UK, but for North America it's fair. Wow, they were joined together in holy matrimony. Now I'm going to put the little CN back on, but with DC power. I forgot to switch something off. My big PA was sucking all the DC power out of it. So, check this guy with all his LEDs on, he looks great. Excellent little switcher, and I can actually run it on DCC. All the lights come on nice and bright, except if you watch the Fix It Friday video, I cannot get the roof light to flash. I need a capacitor, resistor, all that kind of stuff. I just don't think it's worth the hassle. I just thought you would fit a blinking bulb and that would be it. No. There's more to a blinking bulb than just plugging it into some power, unfortunately. My layout is roughly 13 feet by 10 feet, but obviously there's a big gap in the middle. So I possibly could add a centre peninsula coming out. But you know what, I just wanted as much access as possible. I didn't want to be overstretching. I wanted to be able to reach every train on the track, which I can, so it's fine. If I'd gone for a complete loop with a sort of lift up bridge thing, I could have had 2 loops going round. So as it is, I've only got enough room for 1 loop. Hey, I can always change my mind in the future and knock a wall down and, you know, build a bridge kind of deal. But I tell you what, it takes a long time to build scenery and a layout. I had no idea. I've been watching other people's layout builds, and it's like, oh my god, when are you going to put some grass down? But geez, the bigger the layout, the longer it takes. It could take years to get this layout done. I thought I would have it all done by Christmas, but apparently not. Let's see this wee guy coming down the hill. Hey John, I certainly will be looking out for you. John Train BFGR, might have an E8. Lovely. John, did I speak to you at the last train show? I remember speaking to someone. I was talking about possibly getting a DCC loco off of them, and I never came back because I think I ran out of money because I spent it all in crap. But I don't know if that was you or not. Let me know if it was. Other than that, I've no idea how to find you because I've got a terrible memory for faces. Actually, no, my face memory's okay. It's my name memory's a bit crap. So, apologies if I've already met you and said hello. You weren't the guy that gave me the Scottish loco book, were you? You probably were, weren't you? It's embarrassing. Right, what we run next? You choose. Let me know what you want me to run next. Right, John, remind me, what sort of what sort of stand, table, whatever did you have, and what sort of trains did you have? And I might remember, because I've been to pretty much every show in the area over the last 6 months. Oh no, I've definitely been to every show in the area over the last 6 months, so I'll probably recognise you if you describe your table, or even better, a little picture. But you won't be able to give me a picture over this stream, so that was a pointless request. So describe your table, and I'll see if I can remember. And also, if I've bought anything from you, chances are high. Right, thank you, Photoline. I will look for that. E8 V-Rail. E8. Okay. Would that look okay hauling the coaches, or do I need to get, or is that a freight train? Do you mean this? Is this what I have to run next? Yeah. You know what, I probably shouldn't run two DC trains on a DCC track at the same time. Don't worry, I'll get this little CN switcher off when he comes round. Right, Dash 9 is on his way. Okay, I'll have a look for the, I forgot what he said there, E8 via rail. Okay, I'll look for that. Good call. So I need to, alright, so it's on my list anyway, so via rail E8. Perfect, okay. Yeah, C44 9W9 just rolls off the tongue. I don't know what that train is. I need to look it up. So, Caledonian Railway 812. Let me do a Google search for that. Caledonian Railway. What'd you say? 812? And 652 classes. 812. Oh, big steamy train things. Okay, so British Rail stuff, right? Okay. Okay, you know what? I think I had one of these in Scotland. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had a couple of these, but I have no idea where they went. I had a railway set up in my garage in Scotland, but it was really damp and everything got rusted and ruined because I made it for the kids. They weren't interested and I forgot it was there. And I went out after like 3 months, everything was brown. So I gave up on that, and all the trains had rusted inside and out, so they were gone. But yeah, it's a cute little train. Well, when I say little, it's still a big loco, but yeah, they're nice. Did they only come in blue? Got a feeling they might come in burgundy as well. Let me look up the 652 class. 652. It looks to be much the same. With their little tenders. Lovely. Don't know if I'll see many of them at a train show. Right, John. Matching sweaters, orange and white. I will look out for you. Okay. Hello, Big Horse. No, I don't have any. I don't have any locos with sound yet. So, at this train show at the weekend, in fact, let's add it to the list, because I have been considering getting a decoder with sound. But if I can just get a loco with sound, then that would, you know, save a lot of hassle. Right, let's go DCC loco with sound if the price is right. Okay, it's on the list. Thank you. That was a good call, actually. Because it would be nice to have some sound, but I don't want it to sound crap. You know, it has to be half decent, or it'll just drive me mad. Right, who else has dropped in? Right, John, if you happen to have a police cruiser, specifically I'm looking for a Ford Explorer police cruiser, black and white if possible, or just black with police along the side. I cannot find one anywhere. So if you have one of them, put it aside and I'll grab it from you at the weekend. That would be awesome. Thank you. If not, we'll see. We'll see what you've got. So C44, are you in the UK or are you in North America? USA, whatever, Canada? Because it's kind of tricky to collect American stuff in the UK. Yeah, I agree, Jim. Pre-installed would be good. Because when you add it all up, you would need the sound decoder, which is about $120 minimum, and then the speakers, which could be another $50 odd. You're getting close to 200 just for the stuff to add to a loco that you may or may not even have at the time. So, yeah, good call. I'll have a look. Right, C44's in Michigan, near Detroit. Oh, that's not too far from me, a couple of hours away. But you're trying to get British stuff. The only British stuff I've got is the Intercity 125 sets, but they're 00 gauge, so they're actually too big for the layout. But I had that guy, oh, sorry, I've forgotten your name if you're here. Oh, I'm terrible. The guy in London that sent me those two little BR locos. These little dudes. Now, this is so bizarre, right? So these are actually HO scale, Lima, I believe. Yeah. What are they, class 33 or something? But HO, you know, so he had no use for them. He sent me them all the way from London. They're absolutely brilliant. I'll put them on when the BC Rail comes back round. Because they run great. But I don't have anything to haul. So I'm going to try and get some HO scale passenger cars that would suit this, but that's going to be a tough job to find at the train show, which is mostly, you know, North American stuff. But you never know. There is actually a British stand I've noticed at the train show when I go, but I don't know if it might just be 00 gauge. We'll see. I'm sure they'll be there on Sunday. Right, BC Rail's coming round. And I'll switch to DC for the little guys. I don't think they would like DCC very much. But this is what I was saying about British Rail. When I grew up, all trains looked like this little green and yellow thing. All of them. So, as much as I loved trains when I was a kid, there wasn't enough variation, you know. It's not the same appeal for me back then. There's plenty of people that love all that. I just wasn't really into it. I did like the big giant version of that with the big long yellow nose. They were fairly terrifying when they went thundering by when you were standing on a platform. I do remember that. Very loud diesel. But I don't have anything else. I've got two of these, and in HO scale, that's all I've got. We'll see. I'm kind of focused on the North American stuff because it's all new and shiny to me. You know what I might do? If you saw that last video, and I installed the tiny little grain of wheat bulbs and those little ditch lights, I reckon I could install them in there. See how tiny that is? I reckon I could install two of those little white lights there. The back, there's like red lenses there, so I probably wouldn't even need to install red lights in there. I could probably just do white all the way around. These are in such good condition, I think it'd be worth it. Maybe a wee cab light front and back as well. It's got windows along the sides. I could go mad with LEDs. I'm going to put the other one on just to give it a run. They look exactly the same, but that one's got a wee chip in the roof. He's a wee bit crunchier than the other one. Maybe just needs his wheels cleaned. Right, how are we doing with the shopping list? Right, we've got a Via Rail Loco of any description, but apparently an E8 would do the job. Any Rio Grande Loco, preferably a PA1, but I'll take an F7. And an affordable DCC Loco with sound. Any more suggestions? Or have you all left because you're bored silly? Nope, still got, I don't know, 14 people. Probably falling asleep. So bored. Don't mind me. Yeah. You know what I find really shocking is the difference in size between British locos and North American locos. So that is HO scale, obviously. Pretty much passenger car, although it would haul freight, right? Not passenger car, passenger loco. This is the equivalent British version. I've got them all back to front and upside down. So tiny. I still can't believe that that's HO scale. It looks so small. But you can tell by the size of the doors that they are the same. You know, the door size, like if you imagine the tiny humans, they'd be the same. It's kind of like everything in North America has to be bigger, you know, bigger cars, bigger trains, bigger bellies. Yes, Colin, I do have everything I need to do the DCC EX stuff, but obviously because Tug Sanner sent me that Easy Command Center, I've kind of put that in the back burner for now because I can run DCC stuff, but I really, really want to get started on all the DCC EX DIY stuff, and I want to do all my remote electronic turnouts and all sorts of stuff, signals and all that, but there's an awful lot to this hobby. I think I want to get most of the scenery done first, get the basic layout down, and then I'll start working on all the more techie stuff. That's the plan. Hello, Alligator76. Oh man, right. I would absolutely love a Dash 9 Union Pacific. They're quite expensive still. You know what? I thought they were new, but no, they're actually pretty old now, but they're still really expensive. And what's the other one? A SD70, I think. I think that's relatively new. But all the Union Pacific stuff up here seems to be expensive. Even just for a DC version, you know. I have one Southern Pacific, which is this, which I've added some LEDs to, so I will stick that in the track next. I actually really like this. I bought it just because it was cheap, like $20 or whatever, but it runs well and it's kind of nice. I didn't think I would like it at first because it's like grey with a splash of red, but the colour scheme's really grown on me. Right, let me get this BR loco off the track and we'll get Southern Pacific on just for you. Yoink! Hand of God. I think this is the one I used to call Sparky. He was so dirty that all the wheels were sparking when he was trying to go around this corner. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Yep, another great run in loco. I think that's another Athearn job. It's a wee bit noisy tonight, it's not been running a while, but he'll loosen up soon enough. Yes, I agree with the long distance thing. It's the same reason that the trucks over here are massive, you know, because they do cover a lot more distance. East to west in the UK is about 2 hours. 2 hours drive east to west. We drove all the way to the south coast of England in 6 hours. So yeah, the island isn't huge. You don't need massive trains, you don't need massive trucks, you don't need massive cars. I will say this though, when we moved over to Canada we did miss the British car selection a lot, all the hot hatches. They just don't do hot hatches here. The most common vehicle here, well apart from the Ford F-150 pickup truck, which is the best selling American car apparently, but no, the most popular style of car here is the mid-size crossover SUV type stuff, soccer mom stuff, you know. They're very popular. And sedans, not a lot of hot hatches, hence why my wife got the Mini and has had 3 Minis now, because that's the closest thing you get to a hot hatch over here, which is a shame. Don't get any Renaults, Citroens, Peugeots. The only Fiat you get is a 500. It's a shame, but That's alright, I like my big truck. And nothing is manual, unless you specifically request it. The good thing about the manual shift cars here is they are cheaper, because no one wants them, or no one knows how to drive them, more to the point. There's my Southern Pacific doing. And a wee bit fast there, boy. Slow you down a bit. That's better. That's the other thing I love about the Atherms. They can crawl up hills really slowly because they've got so much torque and weight. Well, what I mean by that is because they're so heavy, you have to add a lot of power to them to get them to go. But they maintain that power with all their flywheels, but you guys know all this. Yeah, I agree. The New Zealand's very similar to the UK. Oh God. After me saying I had so much power, it's conked out in the hill. More power. There he goes. Yeah, I don't really miss the manual transmission. Not where we are, right? In Ontario, where we are, it's really flat. All the roads are really straight, and there's a lot of traffic, and a lot of traffic jams. So the last thing you want is to be constantly putting your foot down in the clutch every time you crawl up to the car behind. So an auto is much easier for that. The roads are not twisty. We don't have hills here. So you're not really going to get any enjoyment out of a manual sporty car, which is a shame. Oh, I think my coffee's cold. Blech. Right, shopping list. Right, okay, what can we add to the shopping list that is not trains? Can you think of anything that I've been talking about needing for the layout itself? I just got some new trees in. AliExpress took like 3 weeks to get here, but I think it's worth it because they were pretty good price. Selection of 20 in a bag, I think, different sizes. Let me show you a couple. Oh, give you a close up. A big one and a weer one. I think they are quite nice trees. Good colour as well. They look really bright green on the camera. They're a wee bit darker than that in real life. So they can get added to that feature up there. Anyway, 2 bags full of trees. The annoying thing is I ordered these trees and then the next day my neighbour Rick gave me like a whole box of trees. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, what have we got? Any more suggestions? Yeah, that does sound like a nice place to drive, Alligator. We're going to take a trip to BC next year. We've not seen hills for years. It's ridiculous. We've been up to like Tobermory direction a couple of times here in Blue Mountain, and it's a little bit higher, but it's not really mountains, you know. We're going a bit stir crazy. We need some scenery in our lives. My kids were just over in BC last week. My 2 boys, they had an absolute ball. So everyone wants to move to BC now. Yeah, good jobs for that. Okay, an HO Valiant Charger would be pretty awesome, considering, you know, I had one of them. That would be neat. Although I'd need to just paint it matte black, because I couldn't afford paint in Scotland. Yeah, the, wait a minute, freight platforms and shit. Oh goodness, Photoline's giving me a whole shopping list. Freight platforms. I'll probably just make my own freight platform, to be honest. I don't have a lot of room for sheds unless I remove some lines, because if you look at this picture here, right? No, not that picture. The space between the rails is the only place I'm going to have for a road to come down and buildings. So I don't have a huge amount of room for buildings, but I will build some sort of freight platform. Possibly have room for a sort of crane to go over the top. Definitely need signals, but I could possibly print my own signals in the 3D printer. But you know what, I'll put it on anyway, because signals, if they're already wired for lights and everything, then that would actually save a lot of hassle. I don't have to make everything myself. It doesn't all have to be in budget. But then if you get it at a train show, it probably will be in budget, right? So let's add in signals. So added. Okay. Boats and planes. Definitely not got room for planes. I've got a couple of boats. I found a boat in a box just a minute ago. Hold on. So I have this. I know it's a bit too toy-like. I agree. It's really plasticky. Might be able to paint it up, but this one's actually more realistic. This little guy. So that could go in the sort of lake thing that I've made, or I'm making. But that's the only water area I've got, so I don't need a lot of boats. I'll keep my eyes open. Even just some little dinghies and fishing boats, that would be neat actually. Okay, let's add that to the list, shall we? But no planes. Although I did think about making a hot air balloon. Boats have been added. Okay, good. Right, Michael, did you see this picture? As you can see, work is about to commence on the Magnorail DIY moving car system. Okay? That's what all the construction vehicles are there for. Hey Colin, I've got end of track bumpers. I just haven't installed them yet because just forgot. But I do have. I've got plenty. I've got like 5 or 6. Yeah. In fact, I've got more than 5 or 6. They're all over the place in drawers and shelves and cupboards. The red and white boat was made by Athearn, was it? Let me get my glasses on for that. Hold on. Let's get a closer look. It's rattling. There's something going on inside. Let's take it apart. Oops. Oh, nuts. There's 2 nuts in it. So that would be the weight. Right, I'll need to take your word for that. There's no sign in here that says it's Athearn, but again, what do I know? I'm new to this. I think I've broken it. I bet that floats. I could use real water. Yeah, that's a nice little boat. So, It's a sort of mini pleasure cruiser thing, but I could make that a wee fishing boat. It's not bad. I think I got that from my neighbour Rick. One of the many things he gave me early in the day, early in the project. Okay. Some of the Matchbox stuff is spot on, but some of it's just a wee bit too big. Which would be fine if you're only going to be using Matchbox and Hot Wheels stuff, but I've got some actual HO scale cars, and they're so much smaller, and they just look daft beside the Matchbox stuff. But as I say, if you're only using Matchbox, no problem at all. They're really nice models, and they're only a couple of dollars each. They're really good. Well, the basic Matchbox stuff is. I was thinking that C44, this definitely looks like it would float. Yeah. I might need to try that later, when I have my bubble bath. Okay, Big Hoss. Okay, this curve is about that's about 3 3/4 feet deep. And see how the loco straightens out at that point. Excuse me. Technically, I could probably get two loops round there, but I didn't want. If I was to have two loops there, then I would have to have two loops at this side, and it isn't as wide. It's only about 3 feet wide, and there's no straight bit in this particular loop, this curve. And I just didn't want the rails hanging off the edge of the track, so I had to have it not too deep so that I could still reach in to the back wall. So you know what, it was all compromises when I built this. It is what it is. It's fine. I was still kind of classing this as my first layout, and when I knock this wall down and build a bigger layout, it'll all be different, and I'll have at least two loops going round and crossing over and going in tunnels and helixes and lifts and all sorts of stuff. But this is just my starter layout. At least that's what I keep telling my wife and myself. So, C44. Alright, oh god, I read that as I also own a steam locomotive from 1870. No, right, you saw a steam loco from 1870 operating under its own steam. Interesting. Very cool. Dots. Signals. I was just checking the shopping list again. Right, let me look about. Try and remember what else I was going to add to this list. In fact, let's bring the Southern Pacific back. It's time for something else to run. Such a nice runner. Okay, I think we need to run this. This, my friends, is actually, I think, the first North American loco I bought at a train show when I started this hobby. I got two of them, and I sent one over to Angel Creek, Angel Ridge Railway, the guy in Glasgow that has a little YouTube channel. I just thought he's trying to build HO North American trains in Glasgow, so he's struggling for parts. So I sent him over a couple of locos, which is kind of annoying because I really like the one I sent, but hey, I've still got this one. So. Isn't it silent? It's amazing. I love this thing. And I fitted LEDs to it, as you can see. Making a wee whirry noise. He's not been on the track for a while. Hey, what are you saying in the chat, Big Hoss? Oh, honestly, Hoss, if I was going to do that, well, when I do this again, I'm not going to be doing 18-inch radius curves. What a nightmare to get some of the trains round. Jeez, 22 would be great. If you get access to the other side of the curve, like obviously where the train's coming down now, right? I don't have access to that side, so I have to be able to reach over all the way there to get to the back. But if you've got access to both sides, then you could be like 5 feet wide if you want, and then you can have really nice curves going round. But again, compromise. I didn't have that option. Yeah, 4 feet would be fine though. If you're willing to put up with the stretch and you've got longer arms than me, you'll be fine. Fairbanks Morse Trainmaster. Where'd he go? This guy. So he's apparently Fairbanks Morse Trainmaster. Hey, I watched a video on these, and they use these a lot, and they use them for, passenger service locos. Really, really, really popular wherever they're from in the Southern Pacific area, wherever that is. Semperatus, good morning. I'm guessing you are... Oh goodness, right, if you are morning, you must be UK side then, yeah? Early morning, or you are France or Germany, but probably the UK. Let us know where you are, Semperatus. Oh, you could be here because it is like 12:37, so technically it's morning here. FM H2466. That doesn't have the same ring to it. Yeah, I do love this Norfolk Southern. It's one of the nicest ones I've got. Well, one of the best runner. It's an Athearn, of course, so it runs great, and it can crawl or creep. Yeah, it's not as smooth as it was. It needs a wee bit of TLC. Just needs to run the track for a wee bit, I guess. Just a great running loco though. Which is why I was really annoyed with that one. Although this isn't an Athearn, it's a Bachmann, but I really was expecting that one to run great, and it just doesn't. It's a shame. And it's a Frankenstein, as you saw in the video. It's just made up of like several different locos. Okay, alright, Trainmaster used an opposed piston, or we're getting a bit technical now. The FM Trainmaster used an opposed piston diesel that was also used in submarines. How do you know these things? That's a very random thing to know. Nope, that's not the right cam. Anyone else got train shows this weekend, or just me? I should probably DCC that one, shouldn't I? It's one of the first ones I've got, and it's still one of my favourites. It'd be a shame not to put a DCC decoder in that. The thing is, I've not actually seen these for sale again since I got those two. But if I do, I'll snap them up because they're really good. Anything Athearn, basically. Anything with all-wheel drive Athearn. That's what I'm looking for. Yes, Imperatus, I'm about to, as you can probably tell by all the construction vehicles, work is about to begin, so all the buildings are going to have to get removed during the work process. Oh, I also need to finish the bottom of the mountain area, or the cliff face. It doesn't have its rocky bits and ballast in yet. So I'll do that, that'll be that finished, and then we can get on with the town itself. That is the plan. A DD35, eh? Let me look that one up. DD35 Loco, show me. What does that look like? Oh, it's a monster. Right, so that's the one that's got 8 axles, which is what, 16 wheels. What a monster! That wouldn't get round my track. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah. So now I know it's called a DD35. Yeah. Must be really heavy as well. I'm sure it's got no problem hauling anything, but I don't think it would get round my track. It might, but an 18-inch radius curve with 16 wheels, unlikely. No, I am born and bred Glasgow, unfortunately. Which is probably why I'm in Canada now, because it just drove me mad. I wasn't a good fit for Glasgow, put it that way. Didn't like football, didn't drink, didn't like fighting. Nah, just wasn't for me. Took me long enough to get over here, tell you. So there's no DD35s left in the world. They're all been scrapped. Is that what you're saying? What? That's an absolute crime. What a shame. You'd think they would keep at least one for a museum, don't you? It's a good thing about the UK. They do generally have lots of transport museum with old trams and old locos. They hold on to their heritage. Over here, they seem a wee bit more utilitarian. It's just a lump of metal kind of deal. It's the same deal with cars here, except for the older classic stuff. But anything in the last 20 years, you know, if it starts breaking, they just scrap it. It's such a shame. Although some of it deserves to get scrapped because it's garbage, but we know this. Oh goodness, sorry about that. Sorry about all the slagging off Glasgow, because you're still there, aren't you? Commiserations. No, it's not that bad. Weather kind of sucks though. Yeah, the weather was bad over there. Thing is, so many people over there just thrive in the weather. They love the misery. Nah, it wasn't for me. I wanted a summer and a proper winter and proper spring and proper autumn. Anyway, enough misery. DD40 locomotives. Oh my god, now I need to look up a DD40. This better not take me to a dodgy site, by the way. Double D40, you know. I'm going to be in trouble. Yeah, they're pretty big as well. Oh my god. So I'm looking at the Union Pacific Bachmann DD40. EMD DD40AX Centennial Diesel Locomotive by Bachmann Trains. That's ridiculous. Why? That doesn't need to be that big, does it? I guess that means it can run without a B unit per B unit. Is that the point of the big gigantic ones? That would make sense. Okay, I'm going to add one more thing to the list before I finish off. And this is going to shock you. And that would be, just for a change, Steam Loco. Let's try and pick up a nice Steam Loco. Preferably one that works, because I don't have any parts to repair a Steam Loco at the moment. I'm not afraid to give it a shot, but there's no point taking something apart if you don't have spare bits to put back in if you break them. So let's see if we can pick up a nice little Steam Loco at the weekend without breaking the bank. But I don't think it'll be DCC. But you know, it'll be a start. I need to dip my toes in the old Steam Loco market. See what's out there. Because I'm sure there is just as many Steam Locos as there are diesels to play with. Yeah, the big boy looks amazing. I'm not mad about Steam at the moment, but the big boy just, it's very cool. And Ben over at Eagle Creek, he got an N-scale big boy, and it is still, with its tender obviously, it's still a foot long for an N-scale. It's insane. It's very nice. Right, tell you what, we'll run one more local before I finish up for the night. Let's go with, I don't know. You choose. What would you like to see? I've got Chesney, I've got CP Rail, I've got CN, and I've got one New York Central PA1, and I've got my Baltimore and Ohio PA1s, Santa Fe, a couple of Santa Fe's. That NS is slowing down. Don't know if he's going to make it all the way around. I don't want to have to get off my chair to get it. What was the 18 in reference to, Mike? Oh, someone was asking about a curve. Right, okay. Blue one, yellow on layout. You talking about the CSX, Glenn? Probably. Right, come here, you. Right, let's see if we can get the CSX running from where it is now all the way around the track without me lifting it up. Oh, it wasn't on the track properly. Okay. Well, C44 is just Mr. Dictionary over there. Or Mr. Wiki. I'm still here, by the way. Just chilling, watching my trains. Planning out my little town area. I'm going to go for it depends how creative I get with the moving car system. I would love it if the cars come into the Tim Hortons and did the drive-through thing. We'll just see if I've got enough room for all that nonsense. If I was to put the Timmies, actually I'll do that now. If I put the Timmies in the middle of the town, I could certainly have a drive-through. Hold on. If I was to put the Tims there, then yes, we could certainly have a drive-through. That could work. Night, John. Thanks for dropping by. And yes, I will see you Sunday. Looking for you and your granddaughter with orange and white t-shirts, I think. Bye. No, I didn't know. I didn't know. I don't even know what a saddle tank locomotive is. Come on. HO scale Timbits. That's just crumbs, right? Just in fact, I could probably use some of my fine gravel to make little Timbits. Now I want Timbits. You're bad. I'm on a diet. I need to stop slouching. That's not good for my posture. Right, folks, it's been a blast. I've got my shopping list. And apparently I own a saddle tank steam engine. I need to look it up and see which one it is. Saddle tank, saddle tank. What does saddle tank mean? No, I'll look it up. I'll be educated. Oh, Stephen doesn't like Timbits, eh? To be fair, I only like the sour cream glazed ones, and maybe the chocolate ones. The old fashioned ones are awful. They can go straight in the dog. The jammy ones aren't even that good. Yeah, you're right, Timbits suck. Right, so apparently the B&O, I think that's what you're talking about. B&O. No, I need B&O what? What are you asking? Baltimore and Ohio? You talking about the Chesney one? The Chesney steam? I don't know. I'll look it up. Oh, Thomas the Tank Engine. Don't know why that would be a saddle tank. Whatever. Right, folks. Thanks for dropping by. You can all bugger off to bed or get up and start your day if you're Glenn. But that's me for now. Thank you very much for dropping by. Very much appreciate your support. And I will see you after the trade show. With a big bag of stuff, hopefully. And hopefully it won't be garbage. Thank you very much, Jim. I try. I do try. And I should really do a schedule thing so people know when I'm going to be live. Not that anyone cares. because, you know, it's just me. Night, Stephen. Night, photo line. Oh, it's 6 p.m. in New Zealand. I'm so out of touch. 6 p.m.? Wow, you guys are really far ahead. Night, Semperatus. Night, Glenn. And then there were one. Me. Oh, almost gone. Night, everyone.